Welcome to the live session. It'll take a little bit till it picks up here, till the first person comes in. Gage, what's up? Micah, welcome back, welcome back. How I originally wanted to, Jay Park. I originally wanted to do this live like 2 hours ago, but I had some technical difficulties where my laptop charger malfunctioned. Ruth, what's up? And so had to run to Best Buy real quick and cause a 2 hour delay. But I will still have my 100 minutes or so live session as soon as I can load up the questions here. All right. It'll just take about like 15 minutes and people will start filtering in and out. And excuse me as I try to eat. I didn't get to eat at all. I am still in Virginia. I moved though. In the Navy, it's all right. Oh, okay. So from Virginia. So for those of you who are wondering, I'm looking at my laptop right here. That's why I needed it. So the first question was, am I still in Virginia? Yes. So where I am right now, it's Newport News. But from here, my ship was here being repaired. It was moved down to the naval base, which is the largest naval base in America, Norfolk or Norfolk, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But it's spelled like Norfolk. So I am there now, and the weekends I stay here. Jupiter, what's up? How's it going in the Navy? It's good. Right now, so one thing that I realized about the military, right? It takes time for the Navy to catch up. And what I mean by that is if you are a top performer, right? Your first 2 years you grind it out, but you might not be recognized for your work until like the third year. So right now it's my second year, and I've been recognized a lot, a bunch of different awards and recognitions, and you know, being a part within a captain's speech when he's giving out acknowledgments of top performers. But right now I'm in the process where I've been working hard for 2 years, and I built up my reputation here, and now the top people, the top chain of command, are starting to be replaced with new people because every 2 years there's like a rotation. Now I kind of have to prove myself again. So it's a little bit inconvenient, but it's all about the journey. So do I have a pet? I do not have a pet. I did have a pet, and it died 3 days before my boot camp graduation. It was an albino dwarf bunny, but yeah, she's no more. My rank is E3, LSSN, Logistics Specialist Seaman. I'm a logistics specialist. Eating Tostitos. Is it annoying about the crunching sound? Let me know. I think it might be. I'm gonna put my microphone down actually. I don't wanna disturb people. So, out of curiosity, how many people here are relatively new to what's up, Andy? How many people how many people are relatively new to my channel, like maybe within 2 months? Lamford, actually there's like a whole genre of YouTubers that's all about like random sounds. Like they record random sounds of, like, for example, They have like the most expensive microphones, and they have like the most odd objects, and they just like they make the weirdest noise. But there's a huge uh, group of people that like that kind of stuff. It's soothing, um, and that's just a genre that's like on the rise right now. Yeah, asthma. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, huh. Yeah, I was playing League of Legends. I was playing League of Legends, and then my it turned out my laptop wasn't charging, and the where is it? This one that I had, it broke. Um, Something went wrong, and then it wasn't charging, and then I was about to win, and then now my team probably lost. I don't know your job name means. Can I explain it? So I am LSSN. So my rate is LS, Logistics Specialist. Um, and what I do as a logistics specialist, throughout any branch of the military, right, you need supply. So logistics specialists are kind of in the forefront of everything related to supply. So for example, when it comes to this pen or this desk or any pillow, blankets, anything related to things. So when you're in a ship, right, everything is technically supply, right? So there is different sections and different divisions of supply. There's hazmat. Good morning, Ensign Gaming. Where are you watching this from? So there's different divisions of supply, right? There's S1 who kind of manages, in a brief summary, the financial side of everything. There's S6 who manages the aviation parts, so aircraft parts, right? Anything related to aircraft supply. And there's S8, which is related to general materials like toilet paper, binders, papers, notebooks, furniture. Uh, so there's different sections, different divisions within it. So I hope that kind of explained it. How long have your deployments been? I have not been deployed yet. The longest I've been out to sea is like 4 days on a underway to test out the different systems for the ship, making sure everything's functional. Lanfer, you're at sub school. If you want to add me on League of Legends, my name is just Yoon. Same thing as my name here on YouTube. Do I know anything about CTTs? I do not. For the most part, even when you talk to your recruiter really, when you ask them about the rate, the only thing they probably look up is like on Google. So if you're wondering about the rate, really, it's a little bit difficult to kind of get a good idea of what the life is going to be like. But um, you or your recruiter, relatively have the same information, unless they've directly worked with that department. Are you an ensign too? I am not an ensign. I am a seaman. I have 3 bars. Well, not a bar. I don't even know exactly what's called. It's like 3 lines if I wear it on my NSUs. I want to be an ensign. I'm trying to apply for my state 21 and try to be an officer. Uh, so I'm trying to get Sailor of the Year, and hopefully that helps with my package for me to submit it next year. Wait, how long have you been in, and what kind of LS are you? Asks Dre Bush. So I have been in. June is my 2 year mark, and uh, I am in S6 Aviation Supply. I have also been in S8 General Material, and I've also been in S2, which is Food Service, and I have also been in what was it, S11 Chief Mess, and also I have been T80 to uh, basically transportation work, where the most essential parts of the ship, when it's being brought in from other ships, I just go and pick it up and deliver it. I am E3 LSSN. Anyone from different country here? I know Ensign Gaming, you said good morning. I don't know exactly where you're looking at this from. I don't think it's in the States, is it? I'm eating Tostitos. Philippines, awesome. Yeah, I love the LSA school, Sexy Meridian. Ensign Gaming. So it's Saturday morning over there, right? Yeah, Sexy Meridian, Meridian, Mississippi. It's the best place. Like, I'm from the suburbs, so if you're more towards like, hey, I want to be in the city, you might not like it. You might not like it, but um, for me, being in the suburbs, the base is a huge facility. You can walk to the gym. There's a bowling alley. There's a bar. There's basically like a mini Walmart grocery store. Um, yeah, the base almost has everything you kind of want. Wang Bang, what's up? Welcome back. What's up, man? Went to Mavs and got HM Corman rate. Do you think that's a good rate? It's fairly a desirable rate. A lot of people want to be a corpsman. One thing with corpsmen, obviously they work with, or if you know Donnie DWK videos, he's another Navy YouTuber. He's a corpsman. One thing with corpsmen is they're just taught, you know, well I can't really say for sure, but from my perception of them, they're just taught the basics of what to do, like where to put the needle in. One of my experiences was when I was having difficulties breathing because I had what is it, gastral influx. I was laying down. They hooked me up to a heart monitor. Um, but other than that, they're not really knowledgeable. And they do work, with officers, which some of them are doctors, some of them are nurses. Uh, So you are going to get a decent amount of like on hands training from what I can see. If you want to know more about Cormans, I think you should ask Donnie, DWK videos. Yeah, I think Donnie's enjoying his Navy enlistment right now. He extended, so I think he's enjoying um, his his Navy career right now. Is it hard for you to get the job you want in the Navy? No, you can get any job you want. Your recruiter might try to steer you away from it because your recruiter does have a job to do, right? Your recruiter has to fill a certain number of, new certain number of, just for example, LSs, CSs, depending on what the Navy needs, or OSs, right? So your recruiter is going to depending on the recruiter, might even lie to you, like my recruiter did. Uh, when I was joining, I came in as an LS, right? I signed up, and later on I said, you know what? I like making videos. I like talking to people, interacting with people. Let me try to be a mass communication specialist, right? MC. So I called up my recruiter and I said, hey, I want to be an MC. And my recruiter said, MCs haven't been open for a year, and it's not going to be open for a year. Uh, you know, don't even bother trying. It's a small community. But that's a total lie. Your recruiter might say that, but if you want any rate, you can have any rate, right? It just gets more competitive. So as long as you qualify for the ASVAB score and you're healthy, and there's nothing physically wrong with you, you can get any job you want. It just depends on how hard your recruiter is going to give you, a hard time your recruiter is going to give you. All right, so Jay Garcia asks, what's the difference between LCC and DDG and AF ships in the Navy? I am not too sure. Let's see. What's your opinion on sailors who were exposed in nuclear meltdown in Japan back in 2000? Sailors who were exposed to nuclear meltdown. Oh, the what was it, like the Fukushima plant explosion? I did hear about that, like not like recently, not too long ago, maybe like a couple of weeks ago. Uh, Now, I'm sure they got health benefits and stuff accordingly, but one thing that I did hear was during that time there was a carrier over there, and it got so bad that every single sailor had to carry around like a respirator mask, um, just in case, just in case, for safety reasons. They didn't really need it, but they just wanted to be sure that everyone was okay and safe. All right, going down the questions here. I'm not going to try to skip any questions. If I get to your question, it might be a little bit, because there's quite a bit of questions here. Jimmy, what's up? Welcome back, Jimmy. Why the U.S. Navy not building any battleships anymore? They are. Just like USS Missouri, it's super big ship. Recently, they did come out with the different class of carrier, aircraft carrier. So right now, the aircraft carrier that I'm in is the Nimitz class, right? There's a Nimitz aircraft carrier, Nimitz class, George Washington aircraft carrier. There's a Nimitz class, Abraham Lincoln Nimitz class, the Eisenhower. So there is a class of aircraft carrier, basically the same design, right? Maybe different interior here and there, but for the most part, same everything. They did just roll in with the Ford class aircraft carrier. So what's happening is, as time is progressing, right? More technology is developing. With the development of technology, you need less and less sailors, right? So right now, my aircraft carrier, it can have anywhere from 3 to 5,000 people. But the new Ford class, so right now my aircraft carrier has 3,000 people, right? Just roughly. But the new Ford class has about 2,500 sailors. So you can kind of see there's 500 amount of sailors differences. So it's getting technology is getting better and better, and they're building more of the Ford class aircraft carrier because it's the latest design, and they're just going to improve on and on. And they have been rolling out with new battleships and new ships, and they're even I read an article, I think it was like 5 months ago or so. They're trying to build something with lasers. I don't know how near future it is, but there are talks. Sooner Gymnast, 1967. So Sooner, before I get to your question, are you a YouTube Red user? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me well? All right. So Sooner Gymnast, are you a YouTube Red user? Because my name is highlighted, and I'm just kind of wondering if you are. All right, so Sooner, getting to your question. All right, I'll eat a little bit later because I'm getting bombarded with questions here. I didn't even get to eat dinner. I graduated with a degree in psychology with a minor in stats with 3.8 GPA. Have you ever heard of someone being accepted into OCS with this type of degree? Yes. I'm eating Tostitos. There are people with variety of different degrees that get accepted to OCS. Now, I heard preferably they want to see people with that relates to it, but some of the officers I know have gotten in with English degree, math degree, foreign language degree. So it's not completely unheard of. It might get competitive depending on how many people there are, right? Because if, for example, let's say there's 100 people and they only need, let's say 50 people, they can be picky and choosy, right? So I don't know. Well, I guess the best thing to do is ask a officer recruiter. So you go to your recruiter first, normal enlisted recruiter, and then say, "Hey, I want to talk to an officer recruiter. What's up, Ivan?" And then your enlisted recruiter will lead you to that direction. Jay, I went from 260 to 195 weight, and right before MEPS, I gained the weight back, and now it's hard to lose it again. What's your advice? Started working out and stuff again, but I feel discouraged. Jay, I personally never went through anything like you did in terms of having to lose, you know, some weight. But what motivates me every day is just being focused on the big picture goal of what I want to become, 20 years from now. And using that as a fuel, using my why, my reasoning as a fuel to motivate myself each day to get up and do the things that I have to do. For example, this live video. And one thing that I heard from Teresa and John, Teresa gets is if your why doesn't make you cry, you have to find a different why. All right. Let's see, Jay Garcia. I looked at them. They look similar. That's what I noticed. Dang it. Let's see. I just watched news yesterday night that a second U.S. aircraft carrier headed near North Korea. Are you afraid, Yoon? No. North Korea is always saying stuff, and they are probably progressing, but I don't believe they will do anything. I believe it's just a flex by the U.S. to make intimidation or just never know. But I'm not afraid. Even if I am on the ship that is in North Korea in that waters, I'm not really afraid if that was the case. Which is easy for me to say now, but I have to be actually in that situation, which I probably will be in the future. All right. So Jay Garcia, what do you think of these first duty stations? Florida, Virginia, San Diego, California. My spouse put those as their wish list. It's the wish list, but it doesn't really mean they will get accepted. At the end of the day, wherever the Navy needs you to go is where you will be sent. Let's see. Any last tips? I'm shipping out boot camp next Thursday. Adrian, have fun. Make sure when you are in boot camp, enjoy every single moment. And if you can be, an RPOC, an AROC, or the yeoman or forward hold PO, any type of position role, make sure you take it. Even if you're E3 and you don't need it, make sure you take it. Because at the end of the day, it's for experiences, right? I was the forward hold PO in boot camp, and when I was in A school, I was kind of the RPOC of the fleet. So in A school, we called it the CO, and there was the XO and the CMC, which try to simulate the actual setting of a ship, a command. And I enjoyed my time as a CEO, basically leading my team of about 100 people in cadences and physical activities. Uh, I enjoyed that experience, and I use that experience even till today. A year and a half later, in my Navy career, and I will continue to use what I learned during that time. For my life. And so my best advice is enjoy every single moment and try to try to go for that experience. Okay, try to be an RPOC, AROC, yeoman, whatever the case may be. Zach, Zach, for those of you who are wondering, I'm looking at my laptop. Zoclerbert. Oh, Zoclo Robert. What's up? FC3 here in Great Lakes. I bombed a PowerPoint presentation today in front of my COC and few O4 and above. Feels pretty embarrassed. It's a learning experience. It's okay. Um, for me, I am pretty. I can. I'm a pretty right. I have over 400 videos I've been able to practice, and I've always been in front of people, and I even led a business team, um, and even taken theater class in college. So I was always I developed myself as a good speaker, and I've even taken public speaking classes, so that helped. And every single experience like this is always an experience, and it's always something that you can take back on and think about and improve on the next time. So, Robert, don't beat yourself up. You will always have another opportunity to come around. That Evo guy, what's up? Have a good weekend too. Today was also my day off, so I kind of enjoyed a 3-day weekend. Dylan Jones asks, how do you try for special forces? So if you're trying for the special warfare program, uh, I tried out for the SEALs too, but obviously I didn't make it. One thing you do is you go to your recruiter, and what I did, I guess I could share with you. I went to my recruiter and I said, I want to try, out for the SEALs, right? And then you take what's called a PST, a physical screening test, which is a higher physical standard compared to normal enlisted boot camp. And you have to pass the PST. And after that, you get considered, and you would, if you get picked up for it, for example, let's say SWIC or SEALs or diver, you get a separate contract of what you already have. For example, let's say I came in, I chose logistics specialist, and 3 months into my delayed entry program, that program, I said, I want to try it for SEALs. And if I passed the PST, and I passed it well, performed extremely well, competitive scores, they would give me a separate contract for a separate, orders to depart in a different day and be in Great Lakes at a different day. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Jimmy, what's up? David in Norfolk, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, you need to be competitive with your PST scores because, like I said before, the Navy is looking for top people, top of the crop. Mmm, delicious. Gonna put the microphone a little bit down so you guys aren't um, annoyed by the crunching sound. It's kind of annoying how the live stream is going down. It's because the internet is not that great. So that evil guy asks, "What's the best galley food I've eaten?" So the best galley food I've eaten was in the Norfolk galley compared to the ship. The Norfolk galley, which is a naval-based galley, it's from my experience, the ingredients like vegetables, fruits, so much or way fresh compared to the vegetables they give you in the ship. You know, I've eaten broccoli, and I like to eat broccoli, so I've eaten broccoli in the ship. And, you know, when I just get the broccoli by itself and I'm eating it, it's like, I don't want to eat it anymore. But in the Norfolk galley, the base galley, you know, I eat the broccoli, it's crunchy, it's you know, it tastes fresh, it feels fresh. I could eat that all day long as a snack. So I was blown away by that. I was actually there today. In the ship, they don't have a smoothie bar, whereas in the Norfolk base, they do have a smoothie bar. You know, there's a little cup, and you put your fruit or vegetables in it, and then you give it to one of the CSs in there, and then they'll just they have their little mixer, and they mix it up, and then they give it to you as a smoothie. Do I have Filipino friends in the Navy? Yes, I do. I have. There's a lot of Filipino people in the Navy. And there's, you know, a decent amount of Chinese people, a good handful of Korean people, not a lot of Vietnamese people I haven't met so far. David just arrived in Norfolk today in YOU. In you waiting for my ship. What do you mean by that? In going to be packed because GSC was not available at the moment. My recruiter said I can always request that GSE once I get to my base. I don't even know what GSE is. Is that like a rate or GS? I've never really heard about that. But when it comes to ground support equipment, AS, so it's a rate. You can have any rate that you want. Your recruiter might steer you away from it because he needs to fill some numbers and he might lie to you. Like I just gave my example. Your recruiter might say, hey, you know, that rate hasn't been open for a year and it's not going to be open for a year. The one thing that I want you to understand is that if you think about it, right, there are A schools, right? There are facilities. There are, you know, instructors that teach this rate. When your recruiter says, oh, that rate hasn't been open for a year and it's, you know, they're not, you know, getting anybody for that rate anytime soon, you have to understand it doesn't make sense for the Navy to do that because if, for example, when I was joining in, you know, my recruiter said, hey, MCs haven't been open for a year and it's not going to be open for a year, that's basically mean for 2 years, right? But that means for 2 years that A school for MCs has not been open. And it has not been operational. That doesn't make sense because the thing is, MCs are always coming into the Navy. So your recruiter might steer you away, and maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know. Maybe there isn't actually any need, but to my understanding, you can have any rate that you want. Now, if you're trying to cross rate, you're going to have a difficult time because you first have to wait 2 years, and even after you wait 2 years, it's just not like a quick transition. It's a long transition. So you're looking at let's say you come in as undes and you're trying to be a GSE or AS, whatever this rate is. It might take you up to 3 years. So you come in for a 4-year contract and you say, you know what, I want to do Navy temporarily. You come in with a 4-year contract. Your first 2 months is spent in boot camp, and then your next 3 is spent trying to be that rate. And then if you do luckily, if all stars align and you do pick that up, then you have to extend your contract for X amount of years, whatever the Navy wants you to do. So, in my best advice is to get what you want up front from the beginning. The recruiters always recommend this strategy of go in the Navy and then cross rate later on. But to me, I would say bullcrap on that. You know, I'm sure if the recruiters like their own child, their children were to join, they wouldn't even recommend that. Now, that's just me saying it. I'm sure there are very good recruiters out there and very nice recruiters that have good intentions, but you have to understand that recruiting is a job, and they have to do their job, and they have to fill numbers, and they have to do their job to go home. Packed Airman graduates boot camp June 2nd. That's exactly when I joined. So I turned 24 June 3rd. So I left for boot camp June 2nd of 2014 and then turned 23. Yeah, 23 the next day. Or no, 22 the next day. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's see. Reading the questions here. What are the pros and cons of PACT? Some people say it builds character because it is experience, and I've seen PACT undesignated people work extremely hard and long hours. So it definitely is going to build your character, and it's going to build a strong foundation. Because from the people that I see on my ship, undesignated people, they work long hours, and they actually know their stuff a lot because they are held accountable for it. But for me, if you ask me, hey, Yoon, do you want to be undes with what you know now? I would say heck to the no. Let's see. Snazzy, what's up? Daniel asks, what made you join? I was sitting in my school's library 2013. Like 6 months before I graduated high school. In 2012, I started my business, marketing online products for different companies, marketing products on a website for different companies, and at its peak, I had 60 associates and generating significant amount of revenue. And a year after that, I was always focused on money, 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 and my associates didn't like that, and we split up. And I said, hey, I don't need you. I can do this by myself. And I wasn't able to do it by myself, and with that stress, and I sat down in my school's library thinking, hey, this isn't so fun anymore. And I said, you know what, let me take a step back and see where I went wrong, and see what I need to do to improve. So let me try this military thing because my brother was in the military. And I thought about the Navy because I always watched Family Guy, and Stewie's always out at sea and in the Navy. And So here I am. So I spent the last 2 years reading a lot of books. This is the book that I'm reading right now, Ellen's. Seriously, I'm kidding. I like it. She's like the Oprah of our time. As it was like 20 years ago when Oprah was at her prime. And I'm looking at where I went wrong, and what I need to do next to improve. And if I do go out and start my own business again, I know exactly what I need to do. So that's why I joined, to improve myself in very short words. Snazzy Jesus asks, is the pay going in as enlisted enough to live off of? Yes. Now you might not be able to rent your own apartment, have your own car, pay off your own car and your cell phone bill, grocery bill, all at the same time, right? The Navy does provide housing. The Navy does provide housing or facility for you to live within the ship. But so I get paid $1,800, right? Just roughly, easy numbers. 20% of that I put into TSP, Thrift Savings Plan. It's a government-run organization where they invest your money for retirement. So I do that, and then another chunk of my money is spent into in investing in stocks. So I recently capped out my stocks at $10,000, half my money, and I have my other half of money, 10,000, just sitting in my bank. So my family and I are in talks to. No, my friends are watching The Office. So my family and I, we are talking about buying a house, pulling up our money together. So I've been saving my money for that. So my goal is to roughly have about $30,000, with that, and then with my family's down payment, with my family saving, put a huge down payment on the house, and for my parents, and maybe in the future they will give that to me or to my brother. So that is the current financial plan, which kind of steered away from your question there. Can you make a living? A decent living, yes, but nothing too crazy, nothing lavish. If you want that, I would suggest being an officer. Obi-Wan Kenobi, love you. I love you too. David Stevens, lol. What made you choose to try out for the SEALs than any other special SF, special forces? You know what? It's probably because of all the movies that were coming out of the time, like the American Sniper and what was that? The Lone Survivor. Probably because of that. And in my opinion, they probably made that movie to try to enlist more SEAL candidates. So, Regtastic Games, good videos, man. Great head start on your life for sure. Thank you. Well, much love to you, bro. I gotta go. It's 1:32 here. See ya in the next one. See ya, Daniel. I am watching The Office. My life is complete. What would you say the pros and cons are going in instead of to enlisted, instead of commissioning? So, I'm not exactly too sure, right? If I do become an officer, I would have a better answer for you. But just from a brief overview, I would say when you are an officer, I've talked to several different officers. You manage a lot of paperwork and you manage basically a division, a group of people, which you could try to translate that into a company, an organization, right? When you are a enlisted, right? When you are enlisted compared to the officer, enlisted basically do the groundwork. Officers oversee the groundwork. So officers, I guess I could compare it to being like the CEOs of companies, and the enlisted being the employees of the company. So I guess if I could make that comparison, in my opinion, that would be it. What's the worst thing you have experienced in the Navy? Let me think. About a year ago, let me eat again. Delicious. One thing that I dislike doing is physical work. Now, it is definitely a humbling experience, and whenever I have to do physical work, and now when you are in the Navy enlisted side, you do a lot of physical work. So I try to steer away from doing anything physical, but when it comes to it, I have to do it, and it's definitely humbling. So I don't like to do physical work. So one of the things a year ago was I was working for S2 food service division, serving food and cleaning food and stuff like that. So that's around the time when my ship reopened its galley to serve people, right? And there's about 3,000 people. You could imagine there's a lot of trash and there's a lot of food that is being served. So somebody has to do the dishes, somebody has to clean, somebody has to take out the trash. And that was one of the worst experiences for me, where I worked 16 hours a day, several days of the week, 70 hours a week, and I did that for 4 months straight. Now you would rotate, right? One week you work 70 hours, and another week maybe you work like 40, 50 hours. But during that time, it was very difficult for me to adjust, because I would only operate out of 4 or 5 hours of sleep each day. So that was pretty difficult. And most recently, I've been doing a lot of janitorial work, like cleaning, which I don't really like to do, but I have to do. And I had to do that for 2 weeks straight. So I didn't like to do that. If you see my Instagram, I actually have a picture where I was wearing like a little mask because I was painting. All right, let's see. Spartan, what's up? You're not late. You're still on time. You're still here. That's all that matters. Spartan, what was your first name again? I want to say Tyler. What job do you recommend somebody who is undecisive and still want a job in the military that pays well as a civilian? Be an officer. Yep. So get a degree, get some kind of degree, and then try out for officer. What made me try out for SEALs other than the other special forces? Because of the movies, American Sniper and The Lone Survivor. I am a logistics specialist. Dang, 70 hours a week. What's your rate again? Yes, I am a logistics specialist. At that time, I was TAD, temporary assigned duty to S2, food service division. Yep. Anyone from a different country here? I know somebody was from Philippines earlier. I would say my dream job, mayonnaise man. I think one thing that you can never get wrong with is speaking a different language. There is the CTIs, who interpret stuff for the military, for the Navy, it wouldn't hurt to learn, a different language. That's a pretty lifelong skill that you can always have. And even at other jobs, learning, having a different language under your belt is always a positive. So I think you can never go wrong with that if you want to go the enlisted side of things. Are you watching this from Ecuador? Ensign Gaming, you added me on Facebook the other day, right? For those of you who are wondering, I'm watching the questions. That's why my face is down. Which, you know what? Let me try to put it here. Yeah, I remember. Let's see. Any fist fights in the Navy? Oh man, that is so much better. And it's much more clear too. I was thinking about getting a little tripod today because I was at Best Buy because I had to get a brand new laptop charger, but I decided not to. I decided to wait for the iPhone to upgrade my iPhone, which I will later on. Let's see if I can adjust this better. That's good enough. Would you ever try skydiving? Yes, I would. Any fist fights in the Navy? No, they're in terms of fighting. For example, let's say pretend I'm wearing a uniform, right? Pretend I'm wearing a uniform and I have crows, chevrons. The people say tuck in your crows. So whenever you get into a heated argument and you want to drop all rank, for example, let's say it's a chief and E4 petty officer third class get into an argument and it gets heated and two people are not talking it out and they just have to physically duke it out. Then they just say tuck in your collars, tuck in your crows, and then just duke it out. I've heard that's how the old Navy was, and now I'm sure there are still people who fight physically, and it's not a perfect Navy, but for the most part, people just talk it out, and it's a modernized Navy, and that's what I like. I'm not a physical person. I'm not a fighter. I'm just a talker. For those of you who don't know, let's see. Hey, hey, dude. What? DJ Lazzy asks, hey, dude. What should I expect when going to MEPS? I ask because I am scheduled to go soon. When you're at MEPS, they're going to test you for your health, blood, if I can remember correctly, making sure you can hear right, you're not colorblind, you can do basic physical movements like you can do a push-ups, rotate your arms, and squat. You might take your ASVAB. It depends. You might take your ASVAB test the next day or that day. So if it's a 2-day event, you're most likely going to take your ASVAB. It's a 1-day event. You might only do the basic physical part. Brandon Ferguson, any advice on how to stay motivated? I couldn't hear due to buffering. Sorry. The way I stay motivated is I always take it a day at a time, and I always try to do my best. Now, it's easy for me to say that, right? But about a year ago, I wasn't very motivated. If you see my older videos, I'm down. I'm hurting, man. If you see my older videos, one of the first few videos where I talk about the ups and lows, the highs and lows in the Navy, where I talk about, man, I should have, I regret joining the Navy, or don't join the Navy, or whatever different titles that I have. If you see one of those videos, I'm very down. I'm down there. I'm beaten because of the work that I was doing. But over the years, what I've started to realize is take it a day at a time and do the best that you can. So a year ago, I didn't really care to be the sailor of the year, right? Being involved in multiple different clubs. All I cared about was doing my job, going home and taking a rest and making YouTube videos. But now, it's kind of the opposite where, I'm in the Navy now. I'm trying to be the sailor of the year, basically be number one out of a ship that has about 3,000 people, and get the recognition, get the recognition, build up a resume. And I'm the MWR, Moral Welfare Recreation treasurer for the ship. I'm also an honor guard for the people who twirl the rifles and hold the flag, and for ceremonial stuff. And I'm also the ACFL, the Assistant Command Fitness Leader, helping people with physical fitness. Doing all that on top of pursuing, rank, on top of doing my job within the Navy as a logistics specialist. It all started by taking it a day at a time, making sure you plan, making sure you know what you want. And I believe it's extremely important that you have a goal, you have a purpose, or you have to find it or rediscover it when you are in, because it gets difficult, man. It gets difficult. You get beaten, and you have those depressing days, where you say, not too long ago, my friend on Facebook posted a Facebook status, and he said, "Don't you ever hate your life so much you join the Navy, and just to hate it some more." There are people that are just get beaten down, and they eventually give up sometimes too. Good luck trying to get Sailor of the Year. I don't need luck. I don't need luck. I just put in the work. I just put in the effort. But thank you. All right. A lot of people have asked me questions since then. Can you give me your iPhone when you upgrade it? No, because when I get 10,000 subscribers, I'm thinking about upgrading it just for like, to treat myself. Because I have an iPhone 5C right now. It's like 3 years old now. But I'm getting 10,000 subscribers just to prove to people that you don't need a fancy camera. You just have to have a very old camera, or old phone. All right, so CTIs, I'm in joining the Navy as a corpsman, plan to become a SAR and work with the Special Forces community. Do you know if I'd have an advantage for getting orders to language school? Because I don't think that matters all too much. Getting orders to language school work if you do. No, I don't think. I personally don't think that will play out too much. But you would have to ask the people once you join, when you're in the Navy. What made you stop trying for Special Forces, or what made you change your mind? I just didn't like the idea of bullets flying at me. And when I first tried out for it, I was like, I'm not like overly into this. I'm not a gung ho person. I'm not a, shoot bad guys. I don't play like gun games and stuff like that. But I just said, I'll try out for this. If I make it, I'll make it. If I don't, I don't. And I didn't. So I was like, all right, I'm at peace with it. So, do you think somebody could be able to toss 100% of their money into TSP for most or all, or their Navy career and survive just fine? Yes. Honestly, yes. So, for example, let's say I did that, right? Let's say I put in 100% of my money in TSP. What I will be doing right now is I will be living in the ship. Food is provided. Now, when it comes to toothbrush, toothpaste, you could ask your parents for allowance, or maybe try to hustle right? Hustle, make some money on the side, buy something and sell it cheap. For example, I went to Ross the other day. What was it, Ross? Yeah, Ross, the clothing department where they have a bunch of different clothes. Um, I like to kind of buy something low and sell it high. Well, maybe not high in this case, but in this case, it was an Adidas T-shirt, and I looked at it. It was $7, and I said, you know what? Somebody can give me $10 for this. Bought it for 7, and then I sold it to one of my friends for $9. So I made $2 off that. So yes, it's possible for you to do 100%. Now, it gets uncomfortable. I would say 90% if you're really into it, and then 10% of your money can be spent into, toothbrush, toothpaste, the bare essentials. All right. So Angel Rodriguez asks, what would you say is too old to join the Navy? I just turned 24, thinking about joining in the next couple of months. There's never, I don't think there's never, I don't think age is too much of a factor. Uh, you know, I know, a 30-year-old who joined the Navy 2 years ago that's, working with me. And, in terms of age, yes, you're working with people who are 17, 18, 19 year olds, same rank as you. And, when you're like, for example, this guy was 30, and at 30, there's a first class petty officer and he's a third class petty officer, and, same age, but, completely in different places in life in terms of finances and, in terms of authority in the Navy. But, once you're 30, you have your life experiences you can bring to the table. You can incorporate into the Navy, and you can teach people what you know based on your life experiences in the Navy, and you can bring that to the table. So I don't think age is too much of a factor, in my opinion. What matters to me the most is just your work ethic. There are people that are 30 years old and they don't really do a lot of work, and there are people who are 17 years old that don't do a lot of work, and vice versa too. 30-year-olds work extremely hard, and there's 17-year-olds who work extremely hard. It's just age. It doesn't really matter to me. I judge by work performance, and that's how your superiors, when you're in the Navy, kind of judge you. They don't judge you by age; they judge you by your work. Let's see. Dang it, a lot of questions. Holy crap, a lot of questions. Yeah, 24 is nice. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish personally I joined that. I turned 24 in, shoot, I don't even have my watch on. Less than a month, actually, June 3rd, I turned 24. So I know how you feel. All right. So, hey Yoon, how are you? Navy mom. Hi. Mayonnaise man. I think your age is fine as long as you're between 18 to 35. No, that's for I think that's for Army. For the Navy, I think the cap is at 30 or 31. Brandon, thank you, sir. Good luck on trying to get Sailor of the Year. Oh, I already answered that. Captain Murphy, thanks for all the help before. Boot, Yoon, you got it. In A school now. Awesome. Awesome. How's your boot camp experience? And, give me an example of how you incorporated like what I said into your boot camp. I'm just curious for personal reasons. Do you check for scars? Do they check for scars at MEPS? Yes, they do. I got a 7-inch scar across the back. My thighs for jumping and falling through in the spring of a trampoline. So I also have a scar on my hand. You can't really see it, but uh, maybe you can. But I did cut my hand when I was very young. I threw a piece of wood, and when I threw it, I didn't see there was a nail, and it cut my hand right through, and it was opened, and I looked at it, and I was like, hey, I should be crying right now, but I guess the pain didn't register all the way to my brain yet. So I was there looking at it, and I said, I should cry, I should cry, I should cry, and then finally I started to cry, and I ran to my mom, and then we went to a hospital. And that's how I have my scar on my hand. Let's see. Yeah, one of the reasons they look for scars is just for to identifying purposes. So like I have a mole on my armpit here. You see, like it looks like a little cockroach. So all that helps identify you in terms of for you know, let's say you fall off the ocean, fall off the ship by accident, and they can't find you, and to get your body back, to the rightful family, they bring this record back up and then say, hey, check for Yoon Kim's scar or birthmark on the left armpit, and then they look at it and say, hey, it's him. What do BMs do? They steer the ship, or I think they steered the ship. They work with undesignated pack Siemens, very close. I don't know exactly what they do. They navigate or tie a lot of ropes and knots, but they do a lot of the dirty work, I think, in the ship. Let's see. I have about 60 college credits. Would I still start out as E1? No, you would not. You would start out as E3. If you have a college degree and you join the enlisted in the Navy, you still become an E3. Now, if you join the Army as a college graduate, you would be an E4. It just goes to show you the Navy is a lot more competitive than the Army. I have a high school diploma. So you took what is it, the AP classes in high school? No, we just put gauze. All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi, thank you. All right, all right, you're good then. Do you know what I would start as? E3. How often or what's the procedure on getting pulled to help with dishes? No, you will be TAD, temporary assigned duty, for 4 months. So I have my ship, right? To give you an example, my ship. Right now, the TAD work, temporary assigned duty, they pull from every department in the ship except for like reactors, the nukes, except for some departments and some rates. But for the most part, every rate is pulled, and it's a TAD billet for 4 months. And there's about, for example, let's say about 3,000 people in the ship, and there's about 30 FSAs, give or take 30 FSAs. So, every 4 months they rotate. Some people go their whole career without being an FSA, without going TAD. Some people spend their whole career on TAD, right? My friend came back from 4 months of FSA, Food Service Associate, helping the food divisions, and then got sent to security for a year. So, no, not just from LSs. When will you get drug tested when trying to join? When you're trying to join, you're going to get drug tested as much as possible every step of the way. When you are in the Navy, you can get drug tested at random. I don't. There's some guys that recruiters send you education stuff. Man, I'm freaking hungry. Just got done lifting. Hashtag get big. I'm not much of a lifter, but I'm trying to be. You gotta go now. Ensign Gaming, thanks for stopping by all the way from Philippines. That's awesome, man. Thank you. See you next time. What software do you use for the stock market? I use the Merrill Edge. Speaking of Merrill Edge, I should check how much I gained or lost today. MA rate, Alex. Good job. I hope that's the rate that you wanted. I don't know what it is, but I heard a lot of MAs go to Bahrain. I hope you get to go to Bahrain, because that would be awesome to go to a different country. Boot camp was all right. I don't know if I really incorporated much, but it made me better prepared mentally. Yeah, I knew I was going to go down. What exactly does the buddy system work when enlisting? A friend I talked to, a recruiter, and you're saying how much of an advantage. So, Andrew, the buddy system, okay, one thing, you obviously, your recruiter is out to recruit people, right? But what's the best thing that a recruiter can do to spend less of his time and get more people is to spread by word of mouth. So if you bring at least two people to your recruiter, then I heard you can be an E3 starting up. So one thing my recruiter was trying to do when I was joining was, you know, my recruiting station needed a lot more females. So my recruiter made it, hey, for those of you, if you bring two females in and they join and they sign up, you will be E3 when you are in boot camp or coming out of boot camp. So, so it's just an advantage or like a gimmick for you to from E1 to become E3. If you're already coming in as E3, you don't really need to do it or care too much about it. All right. Angel Rodriguez, is there anything I should be doing to prepare myself for boot camp, making sure you can pass physically, making sure you pass your PRT? Obi-Wan Kenobi, thanks for stopping by. May the force be with you. May the force be with you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got it. Anytime. Angel, so make sure you're just physically prepared, mentally, just enjoy the experience. Just know that it is, it's designed to be stressful, to break away from that civilian mentality and then create the military mentality. So the biggest advice I would say, just be physically prepared and you should be good. Yoon, I'm a future sailor. LS, any regrets so far as an LS? I don't mind office work. I just don't want to end up miserable. Who said anything about office work? KJ Imbu. Who said anything about office work? You might be put into do a lot of physical work. Certainly, I've done my share, and now I'm in the in between side where sometimes I do office work and sometimes I do physical work. But there was time when for a year straight I just all done physical work because I was at S8 and now I'm at S6 and it's half and half. Any regrets? I wish I was a CTI or an MC. That's just my own preference. I just wish I was that. It's along the lines of what I wanted to do more compared to being an LS, which LS isn't a bad rate. Show us your nipples, or else I will reveal your secret that you have a third nipple. No. Can you get in with a felony? Yes. Just talk to your recruiter, work something out. They maybe not. I know somebody who I worked with had a felony because he stole money from the place that he worked at a grocery store, and then got caught. But now they might be a little bit more strict. But I'm sure there's a way to get in. So study your start guide too. Yes, make sure you study your start guide to be prepared. Can you say never give up? Never give up. Did you ever go cranking, and were you at washing dishes? If so, yes, I did go cranking for 4 months. I did go wash dishes, but that was the scullery was there was like three people who always loved to do scullery, so I let them do it. But I always did the job that nobody wanted to do because that's the kind of guy I am. I just always try to do the hardest work, and I believe it's a humbling experience a lot more. So I was in the deep sink a lot, like scrubbing all the pans that food gets stuck on. So where are the girls, Yoon? Nowhere to be found here. I only have one girl, which is my girlfriend, and that's plenty. Yoon, what is the difference joining the Navy as an officer from an ROTC program, then applying directly to OCS? I actually don't know, Ivan. I'm not too familiar with the NROTC program. I believe, from just a rough guess, NROTC kind of trains you from the beginning, right? NROTC is like a high school program, and then I'm sure a college has it. So from high school, college, and to military, the Navy, the military, when they're looking at it, basically you have a track record of, hey, he's familiar with the military lifestyle. He's a good bet. If we hire him, he's a good bet that he will adjust to the military life fine or well. Compared to directly joining from a civilian with no military experience, joining and trying to be an officer, now it's an iffy program. Now they have to be very picky, very choosy. Like, hey, if we pick this guy, he might not adjust to the military lifestyle well, so let's not go with him. But let's try to go with this guy who has some military experience. He was an NROTC, so I believe in terms of chances of getting accepted is greater if you join the NROTC. Just my guess. Did you diet at all leading up to your ship date? No. I have always been physically active and physically somewhat fit. So I didn't really have to go into a diet. Now I don't overindulge in myself, like, eat crazy amounts of sugar and chocolate like I did today. I ate like 5 ice cream cones and freaking ate so much amount of sugar. Now I have to burn that the next day with running. Not gay, but Yoon is bae. Thank you, Kappa. I used the military diet and lost 3 pounds in 3 days, says Captain Murphy. Alex Jr. asks, yeah, that's the job I wanted. I'm pretty happy. What are the chances for me to go to different countries? Do I have to request it? You will find out in A school. Some A schools are different than others. How they run things are different. Each rate is different, so I can tell you my experience, but it might not be helpful because yours might be a completely different system. So Leo Castenda, hope I said that right. I want to go into human resources in the Navy. I am getting my master's degree right now. Awesome. And I'm thinking to get into the depth, but only getting into, if I get an HR in the Navy, do you think I can get request only HR? I can request. I don't know if they have an HR, human resource. I don't even know. I don't even think they have that for officers. If you want to do something like that, you have to be an officer. Like, I know chaplain deals with a lot of people stuff. Dylan Jones asks, hey, I had a surgery in the past, shoulder surgery on my hand. Should I tell my recruiter about it? Yes, because if you don't, when you get to MEPS and they physically examine you, they're going to find out anyway. So come up clean up front. Tell them how much folding and stowing happens in boot camp every day. You fold your clothes, and I fold that. I still fold it that way, even now, because when I live in the ship, there's not a lot of space. I have found better ways of folding. If you see my video where I fold my underwear, I have found better ways of folding. Bucklau, oh my God, you're live streaming. Yes, I am. What's up, Bucklow? Explain ROTC and ROTC. That's for like high schools and stuff. Thank you for taking the time to answer our questions. You got it. Leo, sounds like you want to be a personnel specialist. Good point. Thank you. Thanks, Yoon. Can you explain ROTC program? You mean NJROTC? I don't really know too much about it. I've seen them. They do the drills and they march and they have it's like a mini military club in high school and in college, and it's an easy transition stepping stone to be an officer or to be in the military. Are you in the barracks room right now? No, I'm at my friend's PPV, personal something facility. Barracks is like where multiple people live at the same in the same room, but PPV is like you have your own room. So that's a kind of an upgrade. Then you had a girlfriend, my bad man. Oh, I don't care. My girlfriend's probably watching this actually. It's one of the 14 people watching. You commission when you graduate. Joining a sports team. Thanks. Is A school hard? No. It's as long as you study. It's like high school. You study and you pass. Or college, I guess, depending on if you don't pass, you kind of get kicked out. So you don't get kicked out of the Navy. You just get re-rated into something else. Do you ever browse the deep web? I've seen PewDiePie's videos with that, but that's about it. I've seen him. I've seen Felix, browse the deep webs, but that's it. Shoji, it depends on. Okay, I'm there now, and it's a little bit challenging. How's is the living on the ship while on shore duty? Um, and I think I've caught up to all the questions so far. Awesome. So living in the ship, it's a little bit rough. Sanitary is not up to standards, and right now my ship is being repaired. So they paint, and then you sometimes sleep and you wake up to the fumes of the smells of paint. Pass the D lab for CTI. Family history. Yeoman, awesome. What I'm wondering, what family history prevents you from being a CTI? I'm curious, but I don't know if I wanna. I'm not trying to get into your personal business, but um, yeah, I need to take my CTI. So you still get paid, right? Whatever language you speak. Do people steal clothes and other stuff on the ship? Yes, they do. Just because you're a military member or you wear the uniform doesn't change how some people are as a person. They wear the uniform, but it doesn't mean they are a person of, trustworthy person, unfortunately. Put your name on everything. Um, and anything that's not obviously yours, lock it up. I've seen, one thing I've seen was one of my CS friends. So he has his rack. He forgot to lock it one day, right? He woke up, had to go to work, rushed, put in his clothes, left. Forgot to lock up his rack, right? He has this combination lock. And during cleaning stations, they just open everything up to see whose this is. He had his PS4 in there, and He came back after work and looked at it, and his PS4 was gone, never to be found. Don't know where it is, but he looked at it and he said, "It is what it is," and moved on. Brave guy. I would have been upset. I mean, I'm sure he's upset, but you know, it's upsetting that you join a professional organization, but you join a professional organization, but you work with unprofessional people. Just like anywhere, no organization is perfect. Orenda, what's up? I know you were trying to. I pronounced your name wrong. Or Orenda. I pronounced your name wrong and you corrected me. I hope I'm saying it right. Man, today's question of the day is basically, what's the difference between officer and enlisted? I'm getting asked that like 5 times today. How a person would join a branch as an officer, you would first go to your recruiter, and then you would say, "Hey, I'm trying to be an officer," and then he would lead you into the right direction, connect you to an officer recruiter. And then you would move on from there. Do you know anyone in the AECF branch? No, I do not. I don't even know what that is. What the difference would be? I'm not exactly too sure what you're asking, Rev. Ivan, okay. If you catch thieves, what will happen to him or her? Just confront him. If you want, send it up to the chain of command, and maybe a disciplinary action might take place. Brian, what's up? Welcome back again, Brian. Orenda? Nope. So I'm not saying it right. Shoji, they'll go to captain's mast. No, usually, for example, let's say, this is my watch, and then somebody steals it, and I say, "Hey, that's my watch. I can basically see you. I'm going to take you up to my chain of command." They usually want to take care of it at the lowest level possible. So, let's say my laptop was stolen. What would happen in a hypothetical situation? So let's say somebody broke into my rack, stole my laptop, and I saw who it is. I would tell my first class petty officer. My first class petty officer would go to my chief, and my chief to senior chief to, and if chief can't figure it out, like if my chief would go to that person who stole it, chief, and then solve it. Then, if that doesn't work out, then it will go up to the senior chief level. If both senior chiefs can't figure it out, then it would go up higher to master chiefs, and if the master chiefs can't figure it out, then it will go up to the officers, and then that's kind of how it will go to. But for the most part, it's either going to be solved in the first class petty officer level or chief level. Dylan, have a good night, man. How long are you planning to stay in the Navy? It depends. If I get picked up for officer, I'll stay in until maybe I'm 31 years young. But if not, maybe I'll just do my 5 years out at sea and then 2 years on a shore command and then get out. But that's okay. Did you do a video of the exercises besides running and swimming, push-ups, and sit-ups? I don't know exactly what you mean. Can you explain your boot camp experiences? Yes, I have multiple videos on that. But DJ Lazzy, for this live video purposes, I have to answer a bunch of different questions. So as much as I would love to answer your question, you can watch my videos and get my boot camp experience. Would you accept a MIC, cam, screen, and PC recording setup as a birthday gift? If you're going to send it to me, no. I would just more rather you prefer you have your own money and spend it your way. I'm just more thankful for that attention that you guys are giving me. Over 200 people so far coming in and out. I'm very thankful for that. Captain, there's a lot of pressure on them, Ivan, but everyone can see you doing graduation. King Dark, you're hot. Thank you. Exercises that you do in boot camp. I guess I could in the future. I don't know if I can remember all of them. It's been 2 years. But one thing that's like the most painful thing is the air chair. So you're just holding squat position for 2 minutes. Um, I would love to demonstrate, but I'll make a separate video for that. Lots and lots of 10 count core bar bodybuilder shivers. We did a lot of like two most painful exercises that I did and that I remember the most is the air chair. Holding like you're sitting on a chair like mid up, without your butt or like sagging, holding it up for 2 minutes, and also straddle kicks. My friend is annoying. Or the straddle, what is it? Straddle kicks, straddle, where pretend these are my feet. You're like laying on the floor and you're kicking up and down, and not touching the ground. It's like 4 inches from the ground, and the boots provide the extra weight, so it works on your core a lot. Do I have more financial money management videos planned? Yes, I do. How much push-ups, sit-ups should I do every day to be ready for the military? So, most ideally, whatever your uh, PFA score is, your physical fitness assessment score is, to get a good or excellent, good or excellent, do that every single day. So, for example, the most perfect situation for me, if I do mine, I do 65 sit-ups, 90 push-ups, and run my mile and a half in 12 minutes. Ideally, it would be awesome if I did that every single day. Have you done fan mail or unboxing videos, or do you want to? No. I mean, maybe in the future. I know JT Suits had that video, but I don't have like a physical address where I live. Well, I do have my home address, but that's my home address, which is kind of separate. But maybe in the future, maybe I will. I know that cosplay girl Jessica Nigri did that a lot, and then she got famous for it. So maybe I'll try. Arm circles, scissors, yes. Have you ever thought about joining the Navy SEALs? I have. I tried. I did the PRT, and I didn't pass the swim, and I accepted my fate. Have you invested in TSP savings plan? If not, what savings plans do you invest in? So, Brittany, I do have a TSP. I do put in 20% of my money in it. I am thinking about challenging myself and putting 30% of my money. Uh, so that's roughly about $300 with 20%, something like that. And then if I do 30%, that's probably like $400 into thrift savings plan. So 1% into one of the account and 90% into Roth. 1% into traditional and 90% into Roth. If you want more details in terms of what the difference between those two are, go to the tsp.gov website and they'll explain it to you much better than I can. And I also do invest in my own stocks if you haven't seen that video. And I also invest a lot of my time in producing videos like this because it pays me. I do make some revenue with these videos. What is your future life vision? of your retirement, ideally, I would continue doing what I love. It's making videos and maybe traveling or doing whatever it is that 65-year-old Yoon would do, whatever wherever I might end up in life. 55. Hey man, I just applied for British Army, but still need birth certificates, photo ID. So are you? You're not in the States. You're in Britain. Kev runs on Duncan. Welcome back. Been with me for a very long time. Since you want to use the Stay 21 program, what major would you want to do if you got accepted? Have I met any fans? Yes. Yes, I met one like 2 days ago. Yes, I met one 2 days ago. He's I forgot his name, but I was in the Norfolk Alley with a friend of mine, and then I was eating, and then somebody walked up to me, and then said hi and thanked me. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, I do see people who know me and watch my videos a lot. 55. I think you should try to be like a YouTube channel, make a YouTube channel, and then share your process of joining if you're into that. And I'm hoping to do this around 10 years. I'm 17 at the moment. Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to document your journey and with the British Army or Royal Army, or I think that's called the Royal Navy. I don't know if there are British military, UK military YouTubers, but I'm sure if there isn't, that'd be pretty cool. You don't need to save money for a camera. If you have an iPhone, you're perfectly fine. All my videos, over 400 of my videos, made from my iPhone 5C that I got 3 years ago. And I'm about to hit 10K, 10,000 subscribers. And, as long as you provide value, like, that how I'm doing it, people will find you. People will accept you and like you and subscribe to you and, spread your words more. And you don't need a fancy camera. You just need an iPhone or phone, and then, a lot of words and ideas as to how you can help people. Division of my battle group had a guy who was prior Royal Navy. Awesome. All right, so going back to Kev runs on Duncan's question, since you wanted to use the Stay 21 program, what major would you want to do if you got accepted? I don't know if they pick a program for me. I know they want me to pick a program or a major along the lines of the officer program that I want or that I'm trying to do. They have like a little list of what college degrees they would want. So I don't know if they're going to say, hey, get this degree. But ideally, I would like to get a business degree. Does the military have to know about your stock markets and YouTube revenue? No. If you have another like part-time job, then yes, they would care. But stuff like this, no. I mean, they already know I exist. A bunch of recruiting stations emailed me. And, in JT Suits' video, they emailed him to take some videos down. They know we exist. Jeremy Brown asks, is it easier to find a job afterwards after the military? I would say it's relatively the same as a civilian, um, I mean, you do get like priority picks, like I forgot exactly what the term was, but they do hire military people more. But I personally believe it's all on your own personal ability, and the military does definitely help you hone your own ability. It's a tool. It's not like a the military, in my opinion, is a good vehicle for you to improve and excel and uh, understand who you are. But it's not is a magical vehicle that's going to give you everything what you want in life. Hopefully, I said that right and you understood. I'm in A school and don't even get my own room. Yes. So I don't know about the Royal Army or Royal Navy, but for the U.S. Navy, when you first, you might be putting into ensign gaming. Welcome back from the Philippines. For the U.S. Navy, when I first got here, Newport News, Virginia, I was put into a barracks where I was, sleeping with two other guys in one room. Then I was moved to the ship where, I'm sleeping in a whole big room with, a couple hundred people. But now my friend, I'm trying to apply for the same thing that he has, where he has his own room. So I don't know if that's something that the Royal Army provides, but that's I'm sure they have something similar to that. Yeah, I don't know if iPads have a good quality camera on them, but I'm sure it's still okay. Sure, it's still visible, acceptable. Brian, what's up? Good ship, yes. I'm eating Tostitos. I haven't been able to eat dinner because my laptop charger broke today. It's, for whatever reason, wasn't charging, and I had to run to Best Buy. It was a 2-hour venture. Get a brand new laptop charger. So Kifty, you're watching this. You're watching this from the UK right now, right? So who's in a different country besides Ensign Gaming and Kifty? Anath, Aram, what's up? Welcome back. Because Ensign Gaming is from Philippines and Kifty is from UK. Can I send you a iPhone mic? I mean, maybe I'll try to set something up for fan mail if you guys really want to send me something. But preferably, I would like you guys to have your own money, spend it your own way. I'm just more appreciative about the attention. Sometimes my videos are really quiet. I mean, once I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll get the new iPhone 7 or whatever the case may be and get a better. It has like a bunch of different little gadgets. Like I was looking at Best Buy today, like the little the little lens that helps you magnify it, or the little speakerphone, or maybe I'll get like a Casey Neistat set up, but that's like thousands of dollars, which I'm not trying to do right now. So in about a couple minutes here, I'm gonna close it out for today. It's been 104 minutes so far. Thank you everybody who has been with me for a very long time or from start to finish. Do I play any sports? I do not play any sports. I from 8th grade until now, part time. I used to break dancing. If you see some of my videos, I do break dance. Uh, let's see. How is the life of a bachelor? Actually, it's not that bad. If you're single, coming into the military, single, Navy single, it's not that bad. It's you're with a bunch of other people who are single. Mayonnaise man, you've been with me since 5.5K subs. Awesome. Thanks for sticking with me for so long. Uh, yeah, I mean, you like my friend here. He's single and he has his own little house, crib, and he invites friends over and we have a party. We even grill sometimes. So it's pretty awesome. It's an awesome experience. I'm married. I'm planning to be a bachelor barracks. Leslie Perez, how difficult would it be for boot camp for a short person? Not difficult at all, actually. For boot camp, when you are so you when it's time to eat, everybody gets in a line, right? Everybody gets in a line, and it's on a height line. So the shortest person is in the front, and you're given 12 minutes to eat. So the shorter person being in the front gets to eat first for the whole 12 minutes, whereas the last person might get their food at the 6 minute mark, and they have 6 minutes to eat. So for boot camp, as a short person, there's advantages. Uh, but I mean, there's no really like difficulties for height. Let's see. How did you grow your YouTube channel? YouTube buddy, I would like some advice as I done a few videos and I don't grow. I'll get back to you in a bit. Jesse, any advice for me? My first command is going to be dry docked in E1 APAC. I arrive in San Diego Monday. So you have a short command. Any advice? Any qualifications you can get? Just get it really quick. Like the quickest that anybody has ever seen. Study as much as you can for the qualifications and try to stand out from day one, from the get, and try to be a super sailor and get junior sailor of the year, or the blue jacket of the quarter, or blue jacket of the quarter, or blue jacket of the year for E1. Yeah. What were my favorite shows as kids? SpongeBob, Timmy Turner, uh, South Park, Family Guy. Yeah. I'll see you later, man. Gonna study a bit before Nikki's live stream. All right, Jimmy. Have a good night. Thank you for all your support. So, Kifty. Okay, going back to your question of trying to grow an audience. So one thing that I did, one thing that I always try to do is on the Google search engine, right? Google search engine. One thing that I did was when I typed in Navy, right? When I typed in Navy, it automatically gives you the top searches. So like, the first one will be, for example, like, let's do it right now. Here, I'll do it right now with you. Okay. All right. So going to a different browser here. Okay. Let's go to YouTube. This is the easiest way for you to get like a lot of hit videos, a lot of views on videos, is just knowing what people look for. All right. So on the search, you put Navy, and it's going to give you all the related topics, or it should actually. All right. So let's search this. And on the side, we'll go to Google. So you type in Navy. See, it tailored to my own personal searches. It's not tailoring to the topmost searches. So one thing you can do right here, Navy Times, just go to Navy Times, because you can obviously see that people have been searching for Navy Times, and just read the different articles and make a video based on those articles, because that's the most up-to-date topics that people are talking about. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, see? So Navy, and you type that, and this is the most searched topics, right? Navy boot camp. So you make a video about Navy boot camp, and then you look at the second one, Navy SEAL training, and you make a video about talking about Navy SEAL training and Navy SEALs, Navy training. You know, you can make a video about a whole series about Navy training. I can make a whole series about Navy training because I've been, through the Navy boot camp where they physically, PRT, physically train you. So I can make different series about that and put that into the keywords. Yeah, I also have a little data here. How many people search for this? See, I have all this data, top search keywords, U.S. Navy, news, military, and you can see this is the top videos up here, and then you go down, there's the America's Navy YouTube channel, there's Kyle Gott, so there's JT, there's me again, 40% rule, JT again. So what I do is I just look at, hey, what do people look at, right? And I just make a video based on that because this is what people want. And I just make a video based on what people want. So hopefully that made a little bit clear. So for you, you are in the Royal Army. Now, if you Google or YouTube Royal Army, I'm sure you're going to get Royal Army basic training, Royal Army, money, Royal Army, money pounds after, training. So you just make a video based on that. And because the people are already there searching for it, your video is going to be found because people are going to want for the most updated information. And YouTube search engine is optimized to the fact that the latest, the newest videos are sometimes put all the way at the top. Then it depends on how many minutes are consumed, the different interactions, comments, likes, shares. But that's going a little bit more deep into it. But for simplicity, do that, and then also have like how I do, ask Yoon, ask your audience what you want to see and make a video based on that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to close it out here soon because I'm going to shower and talk to my girlfriend on Skype because I've been neglecting her for a very long time. Is it hard being an introvert in boot camp? No, I'm an introverted person. I don't really go out much. As you can see, I'm always in this corner talking to myself, to a lot of people. But I like to keep things to myself and not much of an outdoorsy person. That dude, you sort of become not an introvert. Your anxiety goes away. It's interesting. That's reassuring. Yeah, I mean, boot camp, it's like a variety of people at all times, right? There's introverts and extroverts. If you're an introverted person and you want to make a lot of friends, then you attach yourself to an extroverted person because I'm an introverted person, right? My friend who owns this, room is an extrovert, right? He just always talks to people. So all I have to do is, I don't even have to do anything. That extrovert, my friend, he came to me. And he said, hey, let's hang out. And I said, okay. And then, we hung out. And then, my extrovert friend has more people because he always constantly is talking to people. Then, I get to meet new people and meet new friends. And, that's how it is. For introverted, you just have to attach yourself to an extrovert to make friends. Because if you're an introverted person and you're making the effort to make friends with another extroverted person and you're trying to Google and YouTube how to talk to people and, that gets you're putting a lot of energy into something that you don't need to do. Whereas you just find an extrovert. Where is your dream place to live? Korea, maybe. Or, in the suburbs of Pennsylvania. I like it there. Or no. I would like to live in all the 50 states, see how it's like, because I can't say, oh, I love Pennsylvania because that's the only state I've lived in. I would like to live in all 50 states and see, and judge for myself which state I like the best. Do I have any tattoos? No. Let's see. A pure Filipino, Filipino matcha everywhere. Hey, it's okay to ring the briefing to book another date. I have 2 weeks. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Do most people in the Navy have tattoos? I think so. He came here and became a naturalized citizen, then joined the Navy. Yes, I did. And it takes a few years though, but you'll still be good to go enough. So I came here year 2001 and I became a citizen in 2013 or 12. No, 13. So 12 years later. Yeah. Dude, go talk to your girlfriend, man. It's more important as I long distance girlfriend in Arizona. Yes. Are you in California? No, I am not. Oh, are you talking to somebody else? Richie Wilson, what's up, Yoon? I leave for boot camp in 29 days and I'm 25. Do you have any advice for a older person joining the Navy? Uh, like I said before, somebody already asked me that similar question to that. He was 24, and he said, "Is that too old to join the Navy?" And I said, "No, because in the Navy, you're judged by work performance." That dude, have a good night. You're judged by work performance because I know 30-year-olds who work extremely hard, and I know 17-year-olds who work extremely hard, and I know 30-year-olds who don't work at all, and 17-year-olds who don't work at all. But at the end of the day, the higher up the chain of command, they don't look at your age. They don't really care about your age. At the end of the day, what the higher ups need from you is for you to get your work done. So they look at your work performance compared to your age or what your high school score was. As long as you can get the job done, then you qualify for that job, and they look for you to be more important within the team, within the division. So advice for you is just work hard. Don't worry about your age. Age is just a number within the military. You're judged on your performance. Bruh, Legend of Zelda game. I don't play. I don't play Legend of Zelda game. I would like to. It'd be cool if I had it. I would play it. Thanks, Yoon, for your time. Answering the question. See you next time. Next stream, bro. See you tomorrow. Ensign Gaming from Philippines. I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Do you want to do a Skype call? Do you really want to give me that mic? Mayonnaise man, just send me a personal message if you really want to. Cameron Holt. That's a weird question to ask. Let's see. Cameron's top citizen. I don't care. I get people like Cameron every single day. I get the craziest question. I mean, the craziest comments that I get is like I get like comments like Cameron like once every 30 or 40 questions. It's like I can probably show you, but no, I'm not going to show you. But I get questions like, "Hey, go shoot yourself," or "Hey, go back to China," or "Hey, I hope you get shot and killed during combat." I get those questions every single time. I don't take too. It's not. I don't take too offense to it or take it too serious. Yeah, Cameron, don't worry about it. I don't. Doesn't matter whether you had good intentions or bad. I don't care. Let's see. Thanks. I'm going to sleep. Okay, Cameron, hold your dude. Dude is very immature. Samuel the Great Stone. All right, so it's been 120 minutes. I told my girlfriend I was going to do this for 100 minutes, but still. Looking forward to tomorrow's stream. Man, thanks for much love. See you tomorrow. Man. All right, guys. So thank you. See you, Kifty, Samuel, Mayonnaise Man, Ensign Gaming, Cameron, Richie, everybody who has been with me today for 2 hours. Rev, I hope good luck to you. Keep me updated on your journey. Minaya, did you say Minaya? Dariels, I hope I said that right. Kev runs and Duncan. Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody. going to shower now, and then go talk to my girlfriend. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me, guys. Have a good night, Adrian. And I hope you have a great Navy day.